Wij hebben tegen onze wensen in toch de opdracht gekregen om Nate te bevrijden.
Ja.
Want volgens het orakel hebben we hem nodig.
Excuse me.
Het oogbrein.
Your Honor, Judge.
Yes.
All defendants are entitled to a lawyer, are they not? I will be their lawyer.
Oh, really?
Oké.
Why not? Being the judge, I'm all for a fair trial. No one should be able to say, I sentenced them to death unjustly.
I don't know if I want to be represented by her.
Shut up, Nate. The accused is only allowed to talk when their lawyer tells them to.
Lekker hoor.
Well, what do you have to say in their defense?
Dit moesten we zeggen, hè, van het brein.
Ja.
He is not responsible for his actions.
Dit moesten we
He's
zeggen
being
van het brein.
controlled by a higher power.
Oh, the voodoo doll defense.
Not at all. There is a higher power which controls him and
zijn wij,
all
hè?
of us, I think.
Oh, yes.
Indeed. Behold the water jug.
Die ga ik aanklikken.
Nah, that was the win.
Lekker hoor.
No, that was...
Wij
the
zijn een higher power, Marjolein.
If so,
Ik hoor.
then it could get that coconut down from that tree. That is impossible.
Indeed.
You, turn around. Now go ask your higher power how many fingers I'm holding up.
Dan moeten we even goed kijken. 3.
It is 3 fingers.
That's witchcraft. Someone's watching me. They want to control me. And they want to drive me crazy. But they won't get me.
Hij neemt het hoofd ook mee.
That was
Oké.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
You.
Hij heeft wel die sleutel laten liggen.
There really is a higher power controlling everything?
That can't be. Oh, higher power. If you are really there, make a green unicorn appear. See? Just a figment of imagination.
Je ziet die
Alright
schaduw
then,
ontstaan.
release
Hè?
me.
Ja.
Nou, sleutel pakken. Eerst Crit te bevrijden.
Sowieso.
Hallo?
Wat doet ze nou? Oh.
Critty doesn't need my help to get out of that
Ja,
film.
dat is wel waar.
Ja,
Ik
dat
kan
is
er gewoon
waar.
uit.
Out of solidarity.
Out of solidarity. Lekker hoor.
Come on, critter, we're going.
Don't I even get a thank you?
I didn't ask for your help, and we would have managed fine on our own. Isn't that right, buddy?
Ja, zo zag het er wel uit, ja.
Ja.
You see?
Hij zegt nee.
Ja.
We don't have any time for this nonsense. I need your help, apparently.
Ah. So, Princess Self-Centered needs some more help, does she?
I'm self-centered. You just scarpered off so you could play your stupid pirate games.
Critter, can you tell that person that at least I haven't been playing around in other people's beds?
Critter, tell this excuse of a pirate that I was not unfaithful to him. Even if I'd wanted to, I couldn't have been unfaithful to him. He left me.
Critter, tell her that
There
I
you
won't
go.
listen to this any longer.
Goed gesprek.
Nate, it's about the Archmage and Wilbur.
What? What about them?
De archmates hebben we
The
in onze zak.
Archmage has been cursed
Ja.
and Wilbur's wanted for murder.
That's nonsense. That little guy wouldn't hurt a fly.
We have to help them.
I can't. I can drop you off in Elfburrow if you like.
That would be a start. The spark of life is there. My father has it.
Ah,
Yeah. Let's just go.
Are you sure you'll be able to find the Elfburrow?
Arme critter. Hij wordt geskipt.
Ah, hij mag gewoon mee.
Right, someone's gonna have to go up to my father and ask him for the spark of life. Then we have to head off to find Lorem Ipsum. Hello?
I'm not going to help. That's your problem.
Well, I'm not over the moon about it either, but the oracle did say that I needed friends in order to overcome the challenges that lie ahead of me.
Then I suggest you look for some. Farewell.
But you have to help me. I can't possibly meet Mother in this state. The gods only know what she'd do to me.
And quite rightly, too.
Oh yeah? Then why don't you tell him yourself that you're going to desert him?
The frog?
That's Archmage Alistair. Didn't you listen to anything I said? And what about Wilbur?
I'm sorry. I can't.
Wat is zijn probleem?
Nee, niet. Hij is een man.
Hallo Pep.
Boy, Critter!
Ah, Pep.
Come on! Just look what she's done. Critter!
Critter kiest onze kant.
Lekker hoor.
Critter! I knew that you wouldn't desert me.
Hij gaat met ons mee.
And that's good. Mother must under no circumstances see me like this.
I was informed of your arrival, Ivo.
Oeps.
Lekker hoor.
Oh, hello, Mother.
I've been worried, child.
Well, I'm so sorry about that. But perhaps you should have a lie down and we'll talk about everything in the morning.
What is the matter with you? Why don't you turn around?
Ja. Pep.
Why don't you turn around first?
The company of that human is not good for you. That is why I told him to go away.
You did what?
What have you?
Well, I can
Lekker hoor.
explain.
Not necessary.
Dit is de schuld van moeder.
Bloedskroes.
Ja.
Helping her. Why should I? Just turns up and what the hell is taking so long? Critter, come on, it's time to go.
Ah, we spelen als neet.
Ja.
Ivo's hippogriff doesn't seem very happy. Perhaps she's missing her rider. Or she's just hungry. Or both.
Oké.
The last time I used this thing, I blew a bounty hunter out of the sky.
Ik heb geen items in de
Nonetheless,
zak.
Critter and I prefer to avoid a fight if we can and rely on our brains and good looks.
Is hier nog meer te vinden, toevallig?
Some gnome engineers wanted to fine-tune Mary in
Eerst maar even
appreciation
wat
of our victory
spullen
against
zoeken, hè, voordat
Mortova.
we van boord
But
gaan.
Mary doesn't
Ja.
like gadgets, and I'm happy with her the way she is.
Even kijken, wat ligt hier allemaal? Een hele hoop.
Provisions are low. If we sail around much longer, we'll have to get supplies from somewhere. Or Critter will have to eat less. Tinned peaches. Oh, empty.
Lege blikjes. Ik moet de telefoon mee
Altijd
maken.
handig.
The Mary consumes huge amounts of coal. For the oven, but primarily for the steam engine. The Miners Guild promised to give me free coal for the Mary for the rest of my life at the end of the war. When I reminded them, a rather grim-faced dwarf said that the whole thing was meant to be symbolic. Many promises were made in the rush of victory and later not kept.
Kijk,
The
de
Red Pirate
wardrobe.
kept asking me again and again about his costumes when I was drinking with him. I didn't have the heart to tell him we used some of them as oil rags.
Arme man.
A sailor's uniform with a hat and a duck beak made of card. Nope, they're not going to help me in the current situation.
Ja, dat denk ik ook niet, nee.
A rabbit costume with a fluffy tail and ears to match.
Ah, we vinden andere
I'd
dingen.
like to have seen Ivo in that. Unfortunately, the critter never wanted to hand it over.
Even Kijken wat hij allemaal te vinden heeft hierin dan.
A purple tentacle costume.
Ah, Day of the
It's Critter's,
Tentacle
not the red
referentie.
pirates. Critter claimed it was actually useful once. It's hard to believe, but a whole cupboard full of costumes isn't gonna help me at the moment.
Oké. Wat hebben we hier nog? De
I
writing desk.
tidied up here when we flew back from the wildlands. At least that's what she called it. In reality, all she did was bring confusing order to my orderly disorder. Navigation isn't a complicated science. I choose a place on the map I'd like to fly to, then I tell the Mary the name of the place and she flies me there. I don't know why other people find it so difficult. I'm not flying off without Critter.
Oh ja.
Critter is my first mate, and the cook, and the lookout, and he shovels coal and helps me annoy the Mary. He's indispensable.
Critter doet al het werk. Wat is dit voor kistje?
Pile of maps, diaries, travelogues and stuff. I was looking for things that promise eternal life. The Holy Grail, the Philosopher's Stone, the Fountain of Youth, that kind of thing. Harder to find than you'd think. That's why I had the idea with the djinn. At least I knew where to look for him. Wasn't there a book on lorem ipsum here? That's it. If I'd thought of it earlier, I could have given it to Ivo. I like looking for lost things and solving long-hidden secrets. It's not really honest piracy, but Critter and I just want to be treasure hunters.
Treasure hunters.
I've seen alchemic lab benches and building sites with less stuff than this dressing table. Perfume atomizers, face powder, makeup. Nothing of any use at the moment.
At the moment.
Perfume at...
Misschien wel.
De
People
spiegel.
always think that pirates don't care about their appearance. But that's not true. We're just as sensitive as everyone else when it comes to what we look like. You finally managed to get a good beard going. Then people say you look better without. Mary and me like a bit of banter. She says I haven't got a clue about flying airships, and that we only stay in the air because she ignores my commands. Ha!
We kunnen ook nog praten
Mary?
over Mary.
Captain Nate.
What's our
Goeie
course,
side-eye,
helmsman?
Mary.
Zeggen?
Goeie
Shit.
side-eye.
Ja.
We are at anchor in the harbour and don't have a course.
Oh, play along. You know I like all that nautical stuff.
Course set 245 degrees north-south, Captain.
Very good. Keep course.
Yes, sir, Captain.
All right. Let me know if there's a problem.
And then?
Oké. Nou, hier kunnen we dan verder niks. Dan gaan we het eiland maar op, denk ik, hè?
Ja.
Hebben we hierboven alles al gehad? Nee, hier ligt een wooden plank.
Altijd handig.
The Mary was damaged recently, and I want to repair her. When I say recently, I mean about 2 years ago. But in my defense, I had to save the world in the meantime. I'll start the repairs tomorrow. But what can you do if there's a better use for the plank?
Hup.
As soon as I've picked up Critter, I'm out of here.
Ja.
Perhaps
Nou,
we'll
we
fly
gaan
to...
Critter zoeken.
Ah, whatever. We're free. We can fly to wherever we want.
Kunnen we het boek nog lezen?
A notebook with some notes on the lost city of lorem ipsum. If I'd thought of it earlier, I could have given it to Ivo.
Oh, daar is het. Oké. Leave the ship.
Critter, what have you done now? Ivo's
Mama
mother?
lekker.
Oh. Come on, let's get you out of there first.
Hij is ook minder roze,
Ja. Of de zon staat erop.
denk ik.
Of hij is ouder.
All right.
Kan ook.
Darn elven magic. Yes, I'll get
Hola,
help.
Pep.
Wait here.
Alistair heeft meerdere toepassingen.
Misschien ook, hoe gaat het? Of wat ga je doen?
Ja.
Kan ik hier niet naar links? Jawel. Is hier ook iets? Jazeker. Bloemen.
I've never been
Ah,
very
en
interested in
bijen.
plants.
Dit zijn die
but there are
knuffelbloemen die
things
wij
in this
hadden
garden
geplant.
I've never
Ja.
seen anywhere else.
Dat is
Those
lang
two
geleden.
plants there, for example. It looks as though they're strangling one another.
De ball of string.
No trace of arbor, but he left this ball of string lying here. Perhaps he was going to tie up bushes with it or something. Shorty won't mind, I think. Critter attacked this beehive one night. He claims to this day that it was the sweetest triumph of his life. But it was 3 days before the swelling from the bee stings went down.
Arm beest.
Verder ook niet meer aan te klikken. Critter.
Damn elven magic. Hey, Critter, can't you somehow slip out of there? You can usually squeeze through most gaps. The thorns, I see. There's got to be a way.
Even pijn.
All right.
Hem zielig.
It was worth a try.
Ja. Nou, wat hebben we hier? Zwaarden, boeken.
During my time here, I sat in this library many times enjoying a good book. Not. During my time, not.
Oké. Kunnen we iets met de zwaarden?
According to Ivo, these are swords belonging to some of those who have tried to conquer the woodland realm. Nowadays, everyone knows it's better not to pick a fight with elves.
Ja, hebben we misschien later nog nodig. Hier is een hoed.
The king and queen keep gifts given to them by delegations from far-off lands in this room. Some of them are rather bizarre. The top hat might have been a present from a kobold delegation, although it's a bit too big for that. The top hat...
Oké, niet meer opties.
I nearly got arrested once because of a flower like that. I didn't know
De
why they're
toetenbloemen.
forbidden almost everywhere, until
Ja.
I heard someone playing one for the first time.
Zo'n plant staan beneden.
Ja. Hier kan ik verder ook nergens op drukken.
Critter claims he doesn't know Ollie, but the family resemblance can't be denied.
Aha.
Ollie used to be a bookmaker, got involved with the wrong people. Ivo says I just make all this up.
Arm beest.
I've only had dealings with a dragon once. The dear thing wasn't really all there, and completely harmless. I've never really understood why it's all right to cut off dragons' heads. Dragons are rational beings, not a nice tradition.
Oké, en dus naar boven gaan. Ivo's room. Ah,
I couldn't allow him to propose to you. What sort of life would you have? You'd have lost him so soon, maybe just 50 years after marrying him. Or were you planning to go into the world with him and get old just like him? That would be terrible, and I told him as much.
ah.
If one truly loves
Moeder is de
someone,
oorzaak
it's
van alle
sometimes better
problemen.
to let them go. You know that I can be very convincing. The human spirit is weak. And perhaps there was a tiny bit of magic involved too. If only I'd known that it was already too late.
That darn witch! It all sounded so right. I was already across the sea when it became clear to me that I might have made the biggest mistake of my life. No wonder Ivo hates me.
Ik denk
Her
dat dat nog
mother
wel
must
goed
never
komt.
have told her what happened, or she blamed me for everything.
Maar goed, daar kan ik dus niet weer heen.
Nee.
That's strange. When I was here last, that tree looked a lot happier.
De pont, kunnen we daar nog wat uithalen wellicht?
We waited for ages until Ivo's mother finally left the palace. Then it was pool time. Critter and me cannonballed in from the balcony. I was torn between outrage and laughter. At school, I had a teacher who hit us across the fingers with something like that when we were naughty. I stayed the full 2 weeks nonetheless. Education is the key to success.
Sowieso. Ik neem een rietje mee.
Een rietje.
People say the water has a healing effect. Perhaps I should take 1 or 2 barrels of it with me and sell it.
Nee, ik heb 2 blikjes. Nee.
I remember that from my childhood.
Kijk, we gaan een
You
telefoon
connect
maken.
the cans with a string.
Yeah.
You can talk to someone across several meters, just like you could without the cans.
Just like you could without the cat.
Ja. Homemade telefoon. Misschien moet ik die gebruiken om met Ivo te praten.
Oh.
Maar die vader ligt daar te pitten.
When your girlfriend's mother is an elf priestess and you want to make a good impression, you shouldn't call this a swimming pool in front of her. But I meant it in a good way. I even invited her and Ivo's father to join us. The queen must have ordered the sentries to let the Mary pass. So long as she doesn't give any orders to the contrary, we should be able to enter and leave the woodland realm at any time.
Nou, dat scheelt.
I think Ivo has never really got on with her mother, but she has always respected her. Her mother is very hard-working, very conscientious, very clever, but I think Ivo would have liked a bit more affection and warmth from her.
Verder staat hier niks. Look at the woodland realm.
I had to listen to a quite long and, to be honest, slightly hostile lecture about this being a holy moon well. But what if your sweaty feet are longing for a cool down after a long day? What do you do then? My good arguments were ignored.
Oké. Nou,
Bob
vader.
is still sitting where I left him months ago.
Bob.
Of course, he's not really called Bob, but his elven name is too complicated and long to remember. And he likes Bob. Hey, Bob.
Nate, my boy. What are you doing here?
Your wife has hexed Ivo, an imprisoned critter. I'll free both of them, and
I would counsel you to patience, my impetuous friend. What has happened?
The queen found Ivo in the garden. She's pregnant. Did you know that?
I hope that you are speaking of Ivo and not my wife.
Ja, goeie reactie.
Of course I do.
She's put Ivo into a kind of deep sleep.
Theodora knows wise decisions take time. It isn't a simple sleep. It's a kind of time out. For Ivo, time is standing still until her mother brings her back.
And when will that be?
As soon as she knows how she's going to deal with the situation. That could take months, or even years.
Years? She's got no right to do that. We have to bring Ivo back.
Just like the polecat butters the bread of the barn owl.
Oké.
I eavesdropped on the queen. She never told Ivo what happened, right?
What happened? You just disappeared one night.
It was all your wife's fault. She hexed me. I was going to propose to Ivo. The queen intercepted me and whispered something in my ear.
Her words would have just washed over you had they not found something which they were able to catch hold of.
I thought long and hard about whether I should propose to Ivo. I loved her, but I also loved my freedom.
Gods and the wise call that getting cold feet.
So she could manipulate me because of my feet?
She magnified your doubts and let you lose sight of what was really important, your love for Ivo.
But I didn't want her to have to watch me die. And I certainly didn't want her to come with me out into the world and grow old and die herself.
Would it have not been up to my daughter what sacrifices she would be willing to make for you? She is, after all, the more intelligent one.
Well, Archmage Alistair's been turned into a frog. By a certain Van Buren, some little brat who's running through Seastone and transforming everything.
A little girl transformed the Archmage?
Yes. No idea how she managed it. Ivo said something about Wilbur's wand. And he's in the Dark Woods looking for a book that explains how it can be destroyed. In the meantime, Ivo wanted to organize a few things needed to bring the Archmage back.
What sort of things?
Some book from Lorem Ipsum.
The Book of the Dead?
Yep, that was the one. Then we need a compass that belongs to the Red Pirate and something called the Spark of Life. That's why she came back here.
I see. It's crucial we turn Alistair back quickly. He might have answers.
Nou, dan heb ik de Spark of Life nodig.
Ja?
Answers? To which questions?
Something is stirring. A great evil. I have felt it for a while now.
The little brat with the wand?
No. Something older, greater, and a great danger for you, for Ivo, for everyone.
That doesn't sound good. But I wouldn't even know where to start. Ivo didn't tell me very much. Or perhaps I didn't listen.
I have the spark of life here. I will give it to my daughter as soon as she wakes. I can't help you with the compass, though. But I saw the lost city of Lorem Ipsum with my
Hij heeft kennis.
eyes long ago.
If I were to look for Lorem Ipsum, where would I find the ruins of the city?
Under the sands of the Umzu Desert.
Oh, really? Could you be a bit more precise? The desert's pretty big.
I can't remember the exact location. I set out from the Bremen oasis, went into the desert and just followed my nose. After a few days, I saw the golden roofs of the town glinting in the sun as it set behind them.
So Lorem Ipsum is west of Bremen. But how far into the desert? How many days did you walk, and how quickly?
It was 3,500 years ago. What did you do last Thursday?
West of Bremen. That's a start.
Nou, inderdaad.
Your wife trapped Critter in the garden. Some thorny tendrils grew out of the ground, imprisoning him.
Oh, an old trick that all priests have up their sleeve.
So novices couldn't sneak out of rituals early, eh?
But the tendrils are very ticklish, especially under the arms.
They... all right, then.
Weer wat geleerd.
How can we wake Ivo up?
Without the help of her mother, impossible.
Then we'll have to force her. She can't keep Ivo imprisoned against her will.
You won't have any luck. Fiora will defend her daughter. She thinks she's doing the right thing. But if you can make her see that she was not acting in Ivo's best interests, then I'm sure she would let her go.
I should talk to her?
Oh, you'd be dead before you'd stuttered out your first sentence.
Hey!
Oké.
I found this text about Lorem Ipsum, written in a foreign language.
I don't understand that language. I only understand the language of nature. And English for some strange reason.
After I left the Elfburrow, my head still told me I'd done the right thing. I wouldn't condemn Ivo to a life with me, and a goodbye would have been too painful for both of us.
But your heart told you that you were a fool.
Later, I thought I'd found a solution. I'd find a way to live forever. Then I could marry Ivo and we'd never be separated.
Your heart was right. You are a fool.
Lekker hoor.
Ivo seems to have coped well with me leaving her. Seems to have been in a rush to find herself an elven prince.
No, she didn't take it well. She was hurt and disappointed. And no, she didn't throw herself around the neck of any elf prince.
I don't even want to know. I'd always loved her, but it seemed to have been quite one-sided. Take care, Bob. I'll see what I can do to help Ivo and Alistair, or if I can.
I see a man with a mission of great importance that he would like to
We moeten met die moeder gaan praten.
Like? All that work? All that danger? The stress? You've got the same attitudes towards stress as I have.
I can see through you, Nate. You made your decision long ago. You just haven't realized it. To do good. Be part of something bigger. Help others. We all need goals in our lives. And the greater the goal, the greater the reward.
I don't know what you're talking about, old man.
Oké.
Ja, praten met moeder is een ding. En de critter bevrijden.
What I'd really like to do is go up there, give the old boot a slap round the face, and get Ivo out of this place. But Ivo's mother is a powerful priestess. She's probably got a dozen ways she could incapacitate me without me even noticing. I have to be careful.
Ah,
Ivo's mirror. When I was here, her fat bird sat in front of it most of the time. Maybe I can lure the queen onto the balcony, grab Ivo, and... no. Where would we go? Why did she suddenly put Ivo to sleep? Did Ivo keep the fact that she's pregnant secret even from her parents? Could that even be the reason that she left Elfburrow?
zou zomaar kunnen.
Bob
Mogelijk.
said that only she can wake Ivo up, and no one can force her. It looks like she's asleep. But her father said it's more than just sleep. Time is standing still for her. Her mother could leave her in this state for months, or even years. I have to wake her up. She doesn't deserve this, despite everything that's happened. Cheep Cheep, Ivo's bird. We don't get along. He's a puffed-up rooster. And he says the same of me.
Oké.
It was his job to keep me away from Ivo. He made that more than clear any time I got close. I wish he'd done the same after I left. It looks like she's asleep, but
Ja, dat zei ze al.
I have to convince her.
Ja.
En dit is alles wat ik kan doen. Homemade telefoon.
Dan kunnen wij niet vanuit buiten op dat balkon komen.
Ah! We kunnen het boek
Hey,
lezen.
yo.
This
ineens.
is the famous travelogue that reports on the city Lorem Ipsum, in a forgotten language. Scholars claim it speaks of life in the city and of
Het is
huge
Latijn.
wealth. The
Ik
main reason
herken
this
woorden.
text is so well known all around the world. Lorem Ipsum dolor sit emet, consectatur adepicici elit,
Dat is Latijn.
sed eismod tempor insedud ut labor et dolore
Ut labore et
magna
dolore.
aliqua. Ut enim
Werk en verdriet.
ad minim veniam quis nostrud exercitation ulamco laboris nisi ut aliquid ex ei commodi consequat. And so on. For me, this is
Okay.
just a string of meaningless
Ja.
words.
Latijn.
What's this? The author
Tekentjes.
seems to assign great meaning to these hieroglyphs.
Hieroglyphs.
Staan die niet ook op die zwevende kubussen beneden?
Dat
If only I could read
is
them.
misschien wel de moeite
Why
waard.
didn't the
hè.
people back then just write under the pictures what they were supposed to mean?
Ik ben ze even aan het natekenen. Dit is gewoon een hand met 3 vingers. Zie je dat?
Ja.
Zo. Even kijken. Op de kubussen. Op deze kubussen.
Antwoord is nee.
Nee. Maar misschien op de pilaren boven. Ik kan niet hier vandaan daar naartoe. Ik kan nog wel terug aan boord van het schip, eventueel. Kijk, hier staan wel op die pilaren zo'n tekens. Die kan ik niet aanklikken.
I don't know if I'd have been happy here with Ivo. His place is beautiful, of course, but nothing changes, or only unbelievably slowly. And who would want to live in his parents-in-law's house where time practically stands still?
Ja, ik denk, wat wil ik met de telefoon? Had ik nog iets nieuws bij die pont? Nee, hè?
We waited for ages and then it would critter.
Nee. Release critter. Nee, daar zei hij alleen van die dingen moeten we kietelen.
Ja.
Hier kan ik nergens op klikken. Die hoed, ja, daar had ik al 2 keer aangeklikt.
The top hat might have been.
Kan ik daar wat nieuws mee? Ook niet, hè? Nee. Look at the books.
I wonder whether. Here.
Ah,
That's what I was looking
een
for.
Latijns woordenboek.
Altijd handig.
The book describes what the symbols mean.
Ah,
Auw.
The first one is
Ah.
a kind of angular stone.
heb ik ze voor niks opgeschreven. De eerste
Ja.
is gem.
Gem. Desert.
Gemstones. Jewels.
Goed.
That's
Ja.
a promising start. The
3.
second symbol. Desert. Yeah,
Yes.
makes sense. The city is somewhere in the
Mount.
Anzu Desert.
Ja.
Next. Feet? What have feet got to do with it? Can you only reach the city by foot? The next symbol.
3.
3. 3 feet. That's unusual. Perhaps the last symbol will make it clear.
Mountain, hè?
Mountains. Jewels. Desert. Mountains. The jewel of the desert at the foot of the 3 mountains. That's
Lekker
it.
hoor.
Lorem ipsum. The city with roofs of gold is the jewel of the desert and it lies at the foot of 3 mountains.
Lekker hoor.
And these 3 mountains must be west of Bremen. That should be easy to find.
Oké, dat boek ontcijferd. En nu?
Bob said that only...
Kan ik hem een plank met de bek slaan? Nee. Kan ook niet met ze praten. Ik kan hier allemaal nergens op klikken ook.
The oracle on Tugador can look through all reflective surfaces.
Ah, dat klopt.
This is going to be a real feast for him. He loves drama.
Kan die oracle ons helpen
When we
misschien?
found out how the oracle knew so much about the world, we had a laugh sitting on mirrors with our trousers down. We had to stop doing it when he started making intentionally wrong prophecies. The oracle on Tugador. This is going... When we found out...
Maar daar kan ik alsnog niks mee. Of moet ik nu terug naar het orakel en dan hem iets laten doen? Is dat een idee?
Dat is een idee.
Kersthof.
I'm not flying off without...
Nee.
Critter is my first...
Toch niet. Hier ligt nog een touw. Altijd handig.
The Mary tried to teach me some knots. I think she likes passing on her knowledge to me. She said she'll try and teach pigs to fly next.
Throw the rope overboard. Oké.
Nope, I don't need to moor the Mary. She holds her position herself.
Use the rope with... Ik kan niks anders aanklikken. Of met iets in mijn inventory misschien? Nee. Daar heb ik nog iets anders voor nodig dan. Zet akkoord.
I'm not...
Nee.
Hey,
Zijn er nog wat
Mary.
nieuws? Ik weet waar de ding is.
Ivo's mother. She's simply switched her off. How dare she?
Switched her off.
Magic elven stuff. If I could, I'd go up there and...
You are not a fighter, Captain Nate. You are... No, wait a moment, you're not really a thinker either. What exactly are you?
A doer, Mary. A doer. All right. Let me know if there's a problem.
And then?
In de kast.
It's hard to believe, but
Ook geen konijnenoren.
Konijnoor. Lekker hoor.
perfume atomizers, face...
Ik kan hier allemaal niks mee, inderdaad.
I'm not.
Nee.
Most of the communication.
Zij heeft niks nieuws, zij heeft niks nieuws. Hier is ook niks aan te klikken verder. Dan is hier aan boord ook niks anders aan te klikken, behalve dit beest.
Go over into the garden. There are plants and fruit there if you're hungry. Don't fancy greens, huh? Go over into the... Don't fancy greens, huh?
Wat wil ze wel? Een rietje? Nee. Of een plank? Telefoon?
The Elfburrow is one of the most beautiful spots imaginable. But a golden prison is still a prison. The Elfburrow... But
Ja, dan is hier niks. Hier in die tuin kan ik niks meer aanklikken, alleen bij kritten. Misschien kan ik met die vader nog praten nu we dat boek hebben ontcijferd.
Omdat we nu meer weten.
Ja?
Ja, makes sense.
Hier kan ik allemaal ook niks mee. Moonwell, kunnen we daar nog wat mee? Nee. Ja, inderdaad, omdat we nu meer
Bob needs
weten.
his sleep.
Nee.
I'm only supposed to disturb him if there's something new to report.
En ook hier is verder niks. Look at the woodland realm, dat hebben we al gedaan.
One day, Ivo's child will rule over all of this. I'll be long dead by then. It might have never heard of me.
Dan is hier niks nieuws. Ja, de boom. Look at the tree of life.
The tree is legendary. I knew of it long before I met Ivo. The Tree of Life, as it's called, is attributed all kinds of powers. I was a little bit disappointed when I saw it for the first time. To me, it looks like a completely normal, tall tree.
Oh, daar is het.
Not many mortals have seen the Tree of Life, and those that have were crowned heads or wise men. I've even sat in its shade next to the king and shared 1 or 2 bottles of apple wine with him. I mean, with the king.
Nee, ik dacht ik heb wat nieuws gevonden. Maar nee.
Meh.
Waarom kan ik die hoed aanklikken ook? En daar geen items mee gebruiken. En dat zwaarderek. Dat kan ik draaien.
Ik kon al die tijd al draaien.
Ja,
Toen
maar
was het ook niks.
toen was het ook niks, nee.
Lorem ipsum, the jewel of the desert at the foot of the 3 mountains. And I know from Ivo's father that the city must be somewhere west of Bremen. I should actually be able to locate its position on a map.
Nou, we hebben een map. Maar we moeten eerst...
I have to convince her that she's not acting in Ivo's best interest.
Maar hoe dan? Hoe dan? Ik kan geen items
Her mother
gebruiken.
could leave her in this. The oracle is it.
Boekje? Nee. Plankje? Nee. Een rietje? Nee. Telefoon?
En die vogel nog wat?
Nee, die vogel kan ik ook niet meer aanklikken. Alleen de spiegel en moeder en Ivo, daar kan ik alleen maar naar kijken. Hij zei nu nog iets over een map. Dus ik zou nog dat boek met een map kunnen gebruiken. En we moeten Critter bevrijden.
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Ah, ik dacht dat we dat met een item moesten doen.
Dat dacht ik ook.
Look,
No
Locto.
problem.
Dankjewel.
Now you go and wait on the Mary, okay?
Ik denk dat Critter inderdaad gewoon ouder is geworden. Kijk, we hebben hem gered. Kunnen we dan nu vertrekken met Critter? Dat we zeggen, gebruik boek op course.
All right then.
Ha! Een
Ah, we
kaart.
moeten zelf. Ja, lekker.
Northlands, White Ridge Mountains in Elfburrow. Zien we ergens een woestijn? Ah, look
Ja.
at the Umzu Desert. Hier.
That's the desert where Lorem Ipsum must be. Wait a minute. I must have a more detailed map of the area somewhere here.
Lekker hoor.
Kijk, Brem-Im. Ten westen, 3 bergen.
3 mountains west of Bremen. I bet Critter's next meal that the jewel of the desert is at the foot of these mountains. I'll mark the place on the big map.
Lekker hoor.
There hasn't been an airship visiting Lorem Ipsum for centuries, perhaps millennia, if ever. Time to pay a call to the old city. That must be
Hey,
it. Lorem Ipsum.
Oei,
er is
joh.
een
Er is
graafmummy.
een graafmummy.
Lekker hoor. Poedaloep.
Hallo.
We gaan hier checkpointen.
Ja.
Want wij komen aan in Lorem Ipsum, waar daadwerkelijke hiërogliefen staan.
Een graafmummy.
Ja, en een graafmummy bezig is, die wij gaan ondervragen ook.
Mhm.
Hij graaft ook met 1 arm.
Ja. Dus alle opties die hij heeft, denk ik.
Ja. Maar goed, we gaan hem meemaken. Dus
Ja.
in de volgende video weer. Dus ik zou zeggen, graag weer tot dan.
Joejoe.